Live from Cool Boys Central.
You're the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
From bat tips to bat nips, we are just three cool boys revisiting Batman, the animated series, and wearing hats. This is Batman and Beyond, a Cool Boys podcast.
I see Batman and Beyond.
Greetings, Cool Boy Bat Nation, and welcome to another installment of Batman and Beyond, a Cool Boys podcast. I'm Felk.
I'm Ballard.
And I'm Steve.
So cool.
Tonight's episode is Feet of Clay, Part 1, directed by Dick Seabast, story by Marv Wolfman, and Michael Reeves, teleplay by Marv the Wolfman. This episode aired September 8th, 1992, features the introduction of Roland Daggett. Wikipedia says Bruce Wayne is framed for the attempted murder of Lucius Fox. The real perpetrator is an actor and a master of disguise named Matt Hagen, who was disfigured in a car accident years ago. In order to keep his fame, he secretly started working for Roland Daggett, who provides him with a monthly supply of an addictive face cream known as Renew You, a pun on Renew You. Thanks for pointing that out, Wikipedia.
Hat on a hat.
That can temporarily reshape his face back to normal, and who wants to take Wayne Enterprise over for marketing expansion. For botching the murder, Hagen's supply is cut off, and when he breaks into Daggett's lab for more Renew You, he pays the price dearly when Daggett's men drench his face in the formula and force him to swallow liters of it to avoid drowning. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne is arrested and taken into custody, charged with the assault on Fox.
Yeah, this was a good one. This had some big names actually doing some voices. It had some nice guest stars.
Oh yeah,
it has Ed Asner doing Daggett,
and in return for Ron Perlman,
and Ed Begley Jr. is Germs.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Ed Begley. He was one of the drummers for Spinal Tap.
It also had Billy Shepard as Joey.
Billy?
I don't know who Billy Shepard is.
He's an actor from Eating Out, and he plays Joey.
Eating Out. Great series.
Oh yeah, more on that later.
So this was, I think this is Daggett's first appearance, and he's definitely a villain for Bruce.
Yeah, Wikipedia mentioned that, but they didn't mention that's Hagen's first appearance.
The next episode says first appearance of Clayface, so I think they're holding out on who he really was.
Even though he does show up in Act 3, but whatever.
Yeah.
I read there was like some sort of technicality that like Hagen appears on some sort of poster on the Grey Ghost episode.
Interesting.
So
what?
Yeah, people consider that his first appearance.
Well, Cool Boy Nation, tune into our Grey Ghost episode to not hear that clue.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you tune in to hear about all the names of the episodes of Eating Out or whatever they were.
Yeah.
But this was a good one. This was another sort of fun one with the whole sort of insider Hollywood problem of an actor has a disfigurement, kind of like Mark Hamill,
George Clooney,
and something like that.
Oh, he was fucked up, yeah.
And having to deal with the issues of getting like surgery and whatnot.
Do you know how bad Hamill was? You know how bad his nose apparently was hanging off his face.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like, no wonder he looks like he's fucking made of clay in the holiday special. Because he does.
Wow.
His face, in the holiday special, he looks like a fucking mannequin because his face is so caked in makeup because it was so fucked up from the accident and he was still recovering.
Wow.
I mean, he looks okay come Empire, but certainly not as bad as Matt Hagen, who's actually disfigured.
They had to write into Empire in the opening that he gets disfigured in the face by a giant fucking monster. I mean, that was the only way to like help explain like why does Luke look a little different between A New Hope and Empire?
By a little different, we mean disfigured.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't look that bad.
No, he doesn't. He looks fine.
Yeah, I didn't think.
I mean, he looks younger than fucking Carrie Fisher.
In the holiday special, yeah.
Oh, no, I mean, in the Last Jedi.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, that's true. Or even The Force Awakens, technically, yeah.
Because even as bad as like 5 seconds of car accident can fuck up your face, 35 years of hard drugs can fuck up your age and skin too.
Oh yeah, I mean, Carrie Fisher's neck in The Force Awakens was like it was its own creature to behold.
Yeah, coke neck. She had coke.
Coke neck.
She had coke neck.
Have you ever done a line of coke off someone's neck?
No, just boners.
Breathtaking.
Very quickly, Daggett wants to off Hagen. You feel like, he uses him once, or maybe he uses him multiple times.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, oh, he screwed up once. I'm done with him. Let's kill this guy. And that's vicious. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Daggett is
dark.
a very great evil CEO villain, absolutely, and just the voice of Ed Asner sells it even more. I agree. He's vicious. Not only is he vicious in the way that he immediately like blackmails Hagen with Renew, but then he wants to kill off Hagen. Then he just wants to kill off Fox. He just wants to kill off anybody that gets in his way. This guy's fucking brutal.
They make it very clear that Renew is not just like plastic
Renew
surgery.
you.
It's like a drug. It's addictive, and he needs it. It's very much like heroin. It's very, very much alluded to, or some sort of addictive.
Oh, for
properties.
sure. It's totally a drug. And you know what's really sad about this, Stephen Felk, about this being a drug? Is that Matt Hagen's best friend, Teddy, is an enabler. I mean, he's just like giving him the drugs. He's trying to hold him back, but he doesn't stop anything.
I think he's living off of him.
I think they're a gay couple.
Yeah, he is. He's like
He's just
taking
living off
Hagen's
of him.
money.
Yeah.
He probably sleeps in Hagen's
Bed?
Malibu castle. It's fucking
Dude, no, come on. Let's so after, granted it's kind of in the next episode, but he does touch his arm like a couple times, like, come on, Matt. You can still look. Well, he's touching him right there. He's putting his arms
touching his
on
butt.
his shoulders. He grabs his arm.
He was touching his butt.
He's putting his hands.
But look at Hagen. Hagen's like, don't touch me.
That's because he's pissed off about the fucking drug addiction. But this guy's clearly like, they have a touching relationship.
Uh-huh.
They're gay.
Look, I have a
They're
touching
couple.
relationship with all my men. All my boys and me touch.
I know. But I think what is their relationship? It's never defined. They're a gay couple.
I thought they were, I thought he was his stand-in, is what they said. He's the one that does most of the shootings of the movies, except for when he has to change his face or something.
Yeah, well, a lot of dudes fuck their stand-ins.
And what Felk has also pointed out in the past is that a lot of gay guys like to fuck people who look exactly like them.
Yes.
So
That's a thing.
it's only fuel to the fire.
Yeah. So I mean, that's probably a common, like, he got Bryan Singered by that guy, and now he's missing him and wants him to fuck him again, but he won't because he's so pissed off.
He basically follows him until he saves his life. After I think he recovers whatever his name with Hagen after he's been drowned in that formula, and brings him back, and then he just like throws him against the wall, and
It's love. Love is hard.
yeah.
Especially in an abusive relationship.
I don't think we see him after that though. After that, I think he kind of leaves. He gets the point, like, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave after.
Well, that doesn't dispel my gay theory.
Oh no, I'm not arguing against it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was an interesting relationship. We saw the whole turn and everything.
Definitely seems like a valid interpretation of their character. Although I think the later episode establishes like an ex-girlfriend for Matt Hagen. But as far as I'm concerned, this episode that there was love, and the love was trying to stay together, but it's hard when you're addicted to face drugs.
Absolutely.
There was like a later episode, I think, where like a piece of him gets detached and doesn't remember that he's Clayface or something.
What?
And that was a good episode.
I don't remember that one.
I don't think it was in the animated series. That's put out another Batman verse or something. Like
Gotcha.
Oh, like the Batman?
no, it was like Teen Titans or something.
Okay.
Well, right now we've got Daggett going over his plan about how he just wants to fuck the world over with this amazing Renew You drug, which is very similar to Catwoman, honestly, in 2005, 2004. But we also see one of his henchmen who reminds me a lot of that kid from E.T. that has headphones on all the time. His henchman has headphones on the whole time.
Well, he's listening to the
It's weird.
police radio. I think is what he's showing. He's
Oh, is that what
constantly-
that is?
Yeah, because he's constantly listening to see if they're like.
Wait, that kid in E.T. is constantly listening to the police radio?
No, the guy on the Batman. I'm talking about.
Oh, I know. I know.
Do you?
I knew.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. And then the other guy, so they all have quirks. Both his henchmen have quirks. One is a germaphobe and is afraid to like touch anything. He needs to use napkins and everything to open doors. And the other one has headphones on and doesn't listen, and is constantly listening to probably the police radios or something.
Yeah, but the guy without the headphone on also has like the worst receded hairline I've ever seen on anyone ever.
Very true. Later in the episode, I thought it was like pretty interesting. But basically, when they impersonate Bruce Wayne, you've pissed off Batman, and he takes that pretty personal. This is, I think, the only time I've seen him like skewer a car and get really fucking pissed off. And
He tortures everybody involved in this.
he's like, "Fuck you! Are you trying to impersonate me as Bruce Wayne? I'm gonna, And he goes out. He at one point he makes a person think that he's gonna put a bottle of like acid or some sort of dangerous.
That's next episode.
It's a virus.
But this episode, Steve, to at least pull your point to what we're watching, after Clayface is born, which is what's happening right now, we're watching the origin of Clayface, where Matt Hagen's about to get all this renewed dumped on him. Super vicious. They had to shoot it through a silhouette on a wall,
which is
because
still vicious.
You couldn't actually show it like on TV. It would be too horrifying for children.
I mean, Reservoir Dogs doesn't even show cutting off the ear.
Well, there was an edit where they did.
Oh, right.
But yeah, back to your point about Batman, how pissed he gets about fraud, especially his fraud, his identity being stolen, is he takes this one character, Bell, the headphone guy, skewers his car, and then takes him up in the air, pulls him out of the car with a Batmobile or a Batwing claw, and then drags him across Gotham Bay until he passes out from G-forces and pain and mental anguish. It's fucking brutal. And then what does he do to wake him up? He drops him in a fucking pool.
It's vicious. Like that is Batman pissed off. That's the Dark Knight. Like that.
He drops him at like possibly 200 miles an hour, at 500 feet above a pool, and he drops him right in the pool. And he's like, "This will wake you up." By the way, most pools on decks or on like tops of skyscrapers are like 6 feet deep at most.
Yeah.
If you drop someone from 500 feet at 200 miles per hour and they land in a fucking pool, there's no doubt that A, they smashed into the bottom of it, and B, they probably smashed into the wall as they slid across the bottom of it.
What if he drowned? What if he wakes up swallowing water? That Batman, that's vicious.
That was essentially murder that just didn't happen.
The police tell him to calm down. They're basically like, Batman, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, they do. You're right. They have like 3 choppers. They're like, Batman, put him down.
Give us the suspect, Batman.
Yeah, we'll take him into custody. Due process.
Who crossed you?
I really wonder if he's upset about Bruce Wayne attacking Lucius Fox.
Yeah, he gives it away a little bit. I mean, come on. He's just like he's Batman's interrogating thugs, and they're like, "Oh no, it was Bruce Wayne." Like, no, I know it wasn't Bruce Wayne. How dare you say that? I know it wasn't Bruce Wayne. I'm not going to say how.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. Can't say it.
I'm taking Bruce Wayne very personally.
Yeah, I know. He's a friend of mine.
For no reason.
The only reason would be if that they're gay lovers, if they're 2 separate people.
Or Steve has something to do with Bruce Wayne being part of the top 1%, and cops always respond to the top 1%.
True.
Do they?
It's true. They give them priority. Fuck the 1%.
Huh.
It's true somewhere. I saw it on some kind of a news channel. I think it was like MSNBC. And they're good and honest.
Yeah.
So I liked how Bruce, kind of later on, basically sneaks into the hospital window, all kind of scary. He's like, "Lucius, don't be scared of me," but it's like very, very scary. Like I would have been scared of that situation.
I don't think that's this episode, is it?
I think it is. Isn't that where Bruce gets arrested?
That's the next episode.
No, he gets arrested in this episode.
Does he?
He does. Yeah.
Is that how it ends?
That's part of the cliffhanger, I think.
I just watch these as one giant whole usually, so.
I made my notes. I wrote some notes on this one. That's how.
I didn't write that many notes. You know what my next note is?
What?
Summer Gleason ! That's my next note. We haven't gotten to it yet, but that's my next note.
It was when I was watching it, you're not sure if Bruce is actually Clayface or not when he enters the hospital window.
I knew that was Bruce. You could tell the sensitivity in his eyes.
He was hurt that Lucius was when he was hurt, but at first you're like, is that Clayface? Is he gonna? What's going on here? Why is he sneaking into windows? Like, why would he sneak into a window to confront him?
Yeah, but why would Clayface do that? He would just impersonate a doctor like he does.
Yeah, you're right.
And Batman's like known for like skyscrapers and balconies and window ledges.
But not Bruce Wayne.
Well, I think Lucius could probably put 2 to 2 together at that point. Maybe Simon Trank can give him a heads up along with a couple random kids like Frog and shit.
But yeah, here we're watching where he skewers the car.
The torture.
He's pissed him off.
Yeah, the torture of the hired goon.
That's how planes work, by the way. Like, you can't just pick up a car at the nose of your plane. It would really fuck up the aerodynamics and like.
The Batwing can.
This is magic. It's just.
Felk, are you saying that the car is probably blocking an intake valve that's really important?
Well, it would certainly be messing up the weight distribution.
It would probably be blocking an intake valve also, realistically. Like, they would not have clean flow in, and it would probably sputter, crash.
The Batwing seems to have, like, Harrier capabilities. Where
it does.
It can take off vertically, so.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Well, I mean,
it was built by elves.
It was built by Alfred in this movie, this version.
Okay, so now the car's missing, and now the henchman, right, is only being like held onto by a giant metal claw pinching his wrist. At what point is his wrist broken?
I would imagine, as he was dropped, it probably snapped his wrist.
At what point would his wrist not be ripped off? Like, seriously, his hand would be ripped off at some point here.
Yeah. He pissed him off. You don't impersonate Bruce Wayne. I think that he made that clear. So other criminals are not going to impersonate Bruce Wayne moving forward.
Maybe that's why he wanted to kill him, because he was like, I'm giving up way too many of my cards here by being so pissy about one person, like Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne means everything to me.
What does he say? Pray to me. Like, that's what he's just yelling at these guys. He's asking this character, Bell, this henchman, do you bleed?
Oh, you mean swear to me?
Swear to me.
I swear to God. Swear to me.
Swear to me. Yeah, that's definitely Bale's call. Because I would say Keaton gets the I'm Batman.
I mean, Bale does say I'm Batman.
He does, but Keaton owns that, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, I do feel like Swear to Me is definitely Christian Bale's. And then Do You Bleed is clearly Affleck's.
Yeah, and Clooney's is Hi Freeze, I'm Batman.
I thought Clooney's would be more like Don't Leave the Batcave Without It or whatever.
What about Val Kilmer?
Kilmer says I'm Batman. Maybe he doesn't say I'm Batman. I want to say he did.
I think Val Kilmer says Val Kilmer's would probably be something at the end where he's like, I'm both Bruce Wayne and Batman or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
he does say that at the end.
That's probably Kilmer's.
God, and he wants to fuck Nicole Kidman. I mean, I can't blame him, but that's a very weird plot for Batman to have as a central like theme to the movie.
Oh, yep, there he is. You're right. He's on the ledges outside the windows of the hospital. Lucius Fox, peeping Tom.
He just confronts him. He's like, Lucius, who was it really me? Or, it's like what a stupid thing to do. I don't know. Didn't make any sense to me. But then he gets arrested.
It's also something like a guilty person would do, right?
Appear, to like finish him off.
Yeah, like quietly when the cops aren't around. You're like, hey, shh, let's have this conversation when the lights are dark and nobody's around. Because if I have this conversation with you any other time, it just makes me look horribly guilty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the end of this episode, right?
No, it ends with Hagen waking up and seeing himself in the mirror. It's very, very Joker.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Teddy the Enabler is looking for Hagen to give him some more dosages of Renew You or whatever, yeah.
I felt like this was they were doing an homage to Joker's, from Batman, where he sees himself in the mirror and starts screaming.
Oh, like Two-Face. Yeah.
And like Two-Face, yeah. They like to do that one.
You know what? You could say there's a lot of similarities actually between Clayface and Two-Face. Now I think about it, they're both characters have face in their names. I mean, even like literally.
But I think that they both have this like darker side to them.
Yeah, and they're both like people in the public eye, and they have you're right. They're hiding like this deep dark secret, and that's kind of what fuels their origins. And
they're both manipulated by gangsters.
Totally. So So Clayface is fucked over by Daggett, while Two-Face is fucked over by Thorn. They both hold blackmail essentially on them in a way.
I guess Daggett's not a gangster, but yeah, they're both being manipulated and their secret is being manipulated. That he's.
And yeah, you're right. They like looked at they looked at themselves in the mirrors after their transformations, which fucked them up. And yeah, Thorn had like what Big Bad Harv's like paperwork that like proved he had multiple personality disorder, and then Daggett had Hagen's need for renew you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is it is very similar to Two-Face. That's it. That's crazy. Well, I love Two-Face and I love Feet of Clay. I gave this 5 out of 5 boys.
Me too.
I'll give it 4 boys. Good episode. Great bat stuff, gentlemen. Cool Boy Nation, tune in next week. Same cool bat time. Same cool bat channel. Cool Bat Nation, be sure to let us bat know what you bat thought of Feet of Clay, Part 1, or what your favorite bat episode is by bat emailing us at batmanandbeyondcoolboys@gmail.com. New episodes of Batman and Beyond come out every Thursday. Also, please check out our other great Cool Boy Central content with The Cool Boys Podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Patreon, where the Cool Boys have an uncensored discussion about 5 so cool movies, everything ranging from bods to dongs and all the boners they have given us. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Cool Boys Podcast and Facebook group us at The Cool Boys Podcast. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube by searching for The Cool Boys Podcast. And be sure to rate and review us on iTunes at The Cool Boys Podcast. And if you like, you can donate to us on Patreon and receive additional episodes of Cool Boys After Dark and a Cool Boy shout out on the Cool Boys Podcast that airs every Tuesday. You can find the Cool Boys on Patreon at patreon.com/coolboyspodcast. Thank you for listening. Stay cool, Cool Boy Nation. Until next time, it's Byzies from Felk.
That's Byzies from Ballard.
And Byzies from Steven.
So cool.
Batman
And beyond.
Oh yeah.
Batman.
and Beyond.
Oh, yeah.